Testing, 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 testing. All right, we good. What's up, YouTube? It's your boy Keys back with another weekly analysis stock/futures. Today is Sunday, April. Oh, my bad. August. I about to say April. Where the heck I get April from? August 16th, 2026. We finna do our weekly analysis for the week of August 17th through the 21st. Before we get into it, y'all already know, go ahead and make sure y'all like, share, and subscribe. And comment down below any video ideas, any trading ideas, any trading videos you want me to react to, anything like that, any content. Y'all comment down below. I'll try to check it out and see if I can get into it. But other than that, man, we're finna do our weekly analysis and yeah, finna go ahead and jump into it. First thing first, if you're new here, like I said, make sure you subscribe, turn the notification bell on, and uh be sure to just stop in live stream, say what's up. Even if you just saying, hey, what's up, Keys? How you doing today? Just jump in, man, and come and learn some trading. Hopefully you feel welcome here. And yeah. Before we get into it though, I do want to get a disclaimer to anybody that may be new or not knowing how we do this. We do our weekly analysis for stocks/futures. We do our first we do the economic calendar, and then we jump into the earnings report, and then we jump on the charts. So that's pretty much the order of it. And for our sources for the economic calendar and the earnings charts, it may be different than your local trader or your average trader. I do use different websites, and I will let y'all know the website names when we get to it. But other than that, yeah, we should be good to go, man. We should be good to go. So let's get to it, man. I don't want to waste too much time. I want to kind of make this one pretty quick. Should be pretty simple for tonight. First thing first, economic calendar. For the economic calendar, we use investing.com for economic calendar. We put on United States news, 3-star news only. So we only had a high impact for news only because we really want to see when the market is going to be real volatile potentially. So we only put on 3-star news. So our economic calendar may be shorter than most calendars that you see if they don't put it only on a highly impactful news. Okay. Also, for the economic calendar, we always make sure that we check it at least once every morning before we get on the charts because it's always a chance that they may remove something, push them to another day, add something. You never know. So be sure to, check your economic calendar on a daily basis. Now, going into this week, if we check out this economic calendar, the first date that we see is Wednesday, August 19th. So that's saying for Monday and Tuesday, August 17th and the 18th, as of right now, we do not have any high impactful news, no 3-star news coming out. So maybe just a normal Monday and Tuesday, or it could be just very slow and wait until Wednesday to start kicking up. But we'll just have to see. As of now, we don't really have nothing to worry about on Monday and Tuesday. But Wednesday, August 19th at 9:30 a.m., we have crude oil coming out at 9:30, and then at 1 p.m. we have FOMC meeting. Um, for crude oil, it's hit or miss, man. We don't really trade crude oil, and it don't really. Oftentimes, it don't affect the overall market. Usually, it just affect crude oil itself. So we will be okay with trading through that. Of course, both the news events are after the market opens at 8:30, so we're fine with trading through crude oil. Now that 1 p.m. FOMC meeting, um, kinda we should be off the charts around that time. Normally we'll be off the charts by that time, but if you're on the charts, like I said, be cautious because that is a 3-star news event. It's highly impactful. We don't know what it may do to the market. Um, so be cautious. Maybe downsize, lower your risk. Be aware that hey, news coming out at 1. Okay. So, um, and then other than that, we know Wednesday usually we expect some type of pullback or reversal potentially on Wednesdays. So I'll be on the lookout for that. Then we're going into Thursday, August 20th at 7:30. We have Fed manufacturing index, and also at 7:30 we had initial jobless claims. Both news events are before market opens at 8:30, so that is before we will even place a trade. Not saying that it will not impact the market. It's just, hey, we're not even worrying about the 7:30 news just because it's before we will get on the charts. Now, once market open at 8:30, we may give the market 5 to 10 minutes before we place a trade just to see how that 7:30 news affects it or the impact it has on it once market open. But other than that, we should be pretty smooth on Thursday, as of now. And then going into Friday, y'all know Friday always, always we downsize just because Friday tend to kind of be unpredictable at moments. You know, it can move pretty quick and become real volatile at random times throughout the day. So kind of downsize on Friday, um, more times than that. But on Friday, August 21st at 8:45, we had a PMI coming out. Um, of course, it's 15 minutes after market open. We may want to wait until that PMI come out if we don't jump in the trade close to market open, like by 8:35 at the latest. Really, um, probably just want to wait until that news come out at 8:45 to then make our decision on taking a trade or not. But we'll have to see if market presents itself for a trade. We'll just downside and try to play through it. I typically don't like to play through PMI, so I might end up closing the trade before PMI if it's in profit, and then try to get back into it after PMI come out. But after that, Friday should be smooth selling. But like I said, Friday can be unpredictable at times. Okay, so that is the economic calendar for this week. Now let's jump into the earnings for this week. And for our earnings report, we use Earning Whisper on Instagram. We just go to his page, screenshot the page, and yeah, that's pretty much how we get our earnings for the week. Another disclaimer for earnings. On here on Quisetrades, we tend to just look at the earnings report, find the names that pretty much stand out for us, and we just point out them specific names on them days if we're potentially interested in looking into them. But if there is a company that I might overlook and don't really say nothing, feel free to comment like, hey Keys, you forgot about this one. It's a sleeper. Like, hey, they usually have good earnings trades available and stuff. Like, comment down below. Some stocks I'm just not familiar with, and I may just didn't recognize it or never heard of it. So, but yeah, don't feel bad if I don't go over a stock that you're looking forward to jumping into. Okay. All right. Now, earnings for this week. Starting off with Monday, I really pre-market and aftermarket. I don't see nothing at all, so I'm not even gonna waste time on Monday. Tuesday, pre-market. We got Home Depot, Klarna. That's pretty much it. Pre-market after the close. Don't really see nothing after the close. So really, just Home Depot and Klarna are the main two that's standing out for me on Tuesday. Then going into Wednesday, we got Target, TJ Maxx, Lowe's, um, and then Analog Devices, all pre-market. I like Wednesday pre-market so far. Wednesday pre-market look decent. Then after the close, we got Weeble. Really, that's it. Don't really see nothing else. Wednesday pre-market looks decent. Thursday, my bad. I'm messing up, my bad. Thursday, we have pre-market Walmart. Definitely like Walmart, man. Definitely like Walmart. Advanced Auto Parts, John Deere. That's really it. Pre-market after the close, we got Ross. And then that is it. And then on Friday, don't really have nothing. Okay. So really this week, the main ones I'll probably say I'll be looking forward to is maybe seeing what Home Depot, Target, and Walmart may be doing. Those are the main three names, really. But yeah, that is the earnings. Hopefully, we got through that pretty quick. Cause like I said, I want this stream to be pretty quick. If I can do it in 30 minutes. All right. Now jumping over to the charts. Let's go to the charts. Let's start off with SPY. And I did not do my charting yet, y'all. So we literally be doing it live right now. Okay, so we be doing it live as of right now. Cause it still got the same drawings from last week. Okay. Let's delete that. All right, going into the weekly on SPY. Let's start off with SPY, y'all. Weekly for SPY. We look at overall for SPY. The weekly is bullish. We're in a uptrend. We got high, low, higher, high. We're in a uptrend as of right now. Excuse me. Biggest thing for me for SPY is one, knowing that we're in an uptrend. We gotta be cautious when it comes to trying to go for loans, just because we know at some point in time, we have to do some type of pullback. I do kind of feel that it's a little too soon to try to do a pullback. Just because that expansion was so huge at the beginning. Back here in April, we had a nice expansion. Then we consolidate for a couple, from what, June to end of July. We had um consolidated, and now it look like we're getting that breakout. I'm thinking we want to keep pushing at least close to them 800s before we start pulling back. So I'm kind of expecting us to keep going to the upside, but you never know. You never know. I'm trying to see on this weekly. Did we leave? No, we did not leave a weekly gap. Going off of last week though, we end up closing bullish. Only thing I don't like from last week is that we did not close above previous week high, which was 776.55. We did not close above there. We did close bullish, so it's still hope that, hey, we still should be moving up. But failing to close above that high, that kind of tells me, hey, we might do a slight pullback and then start pushing back up and trying to retest them highs. At least trying to go back over 776.85. Or is it, yeah, 85. Other than that, once we get a close past there, I think we should start pushing pretty decent, at least up to those 780s. But biggest thing for me is, do we end up actually coming to push back above 776.85 and closing above for a continuation? That's my biggest thing for this week. All right, going down to that daily. So I'm pretty much bullish on weekly. It's just like a weak bullish. Like, I'm not super. I'm strong. I'd say I'm about 8% bullish on the weekly. I'll say that if I had to put a percentage on it. Going to the daily though. The daily. Looking at the daily, we got high, low, higher, high right there. Like we get our first pullback after making a high. Look like we get our pullback. Honestly, I'm just waiting on the green daily candle. As long as we don't come back below 767.46, all I'm waiting on is the green daily candle. That's it. Green daily candle, I'm looking to take it right back to them highs. Right back to them highs. If we can push up there. Like I said, it might try to stall at that 7. What level was that? 776, I think, 85. It might try to stall around there, but I'm still gonna be targeting this 779.37. So once we get our first green daily candle, I'm looking to go back up to 779.37. Don't really see no daily gap. Actually, let's see. Do got a daily gap right here, so we can go mark that out. Maybe we get our bounce somewhere right here. Maybe we pull back down to his daily gap at 775.43. Pull down into it, start building an uptrend. Then we can take them loans back to the highs. Okay. And I might put. I think I'm gonna put this line here for that weekly high at 776.85, and we're gonna put like a light faint yellow line just for that weekly high. I might just. Let's actually just put WKH. All right. Cause that's the key level I'm looking for this weekly. Do we close above or close below? Just in case, like, hey, we take loans and it starts stalling there. I know why it's stalling there. Yeah, but pretty much that's the only thing I'm looking for on SPY. So um only way I'm looking for shorts. I really don't want any shorts, but um only way maybe scalp some shorts is once we get below 774.90. Maybe if we get downtrend underneath there, take some shorts. I don't really maybe down to 770 around there. But I'm really not looking forward to taking shorts, honestly. But if it presents itself, I mean, we may have to scalp it. But I much rather take the longs back up to 776 then 779. So this is what we are looking for. All right, going over to QQQ. Let's go to the weekly real quick. All right, we've got about 14 minutes. Like I said, I'm trying to get this done in 30 minutes if we can. All right, daily targets. They're still. I'm gonna leave them drawings on there for right now, and then we'll fix it later. All right, looking at the weekly. Weekly on QQQ, on the other hand, SPY we failed to close above previous week high. QQQ closed past previous week high, so that is sign for a continuation. Honestly, on the weekly, it just look like it should be pretty much a clear path to trying to aim for them highs at what is that, basically 744, 745 right here. It look like we kind of got a clear path to it. I really don't see nothing that may stop it on the weekly. Maybe down on the daily we'll see something, but weekly it looks pretty clean. Um, we just broke a downtrend. We had low, high, lower, low, lower, high, lower, low, but we made a higher high with the closed pass. It's just literally, like I said, just kind of look like it should be almost a straight shot on that weekly. We do got a weekly gaps in here though, so we will be looking out for that. A weekly gap at 715.50. Just in case we do somehow start turning bearish, maybe it come bounce there to go higher. But weekly, we're bullish. Just like with SPY, we're bullish on the weekly. I'm going to the daily now. Daily, we got high, low, higher, high. So we got an uptrend on the daily as well. Have an uptrend on the daily. We did close red on Friday, so we got some type of pullback coming. As of now, maybe this potentially be a new higher low. Let's mark that out. Maybe this be a potential new higher low. We're not too sure until we're not too sure until we finally start pushing, making a higher high. But maybe the 728.32 maybe potentially be a new higher low. I'm gonna try to see if it be there, but I don't know if it might still push down a little bit further. We got multiple daily gaps in the way. Honestly, ton of daily gaps. I just don't even feel like marking all these daily gaps. But we'll mark it out. We'll mark it out. So we're currently at a daily gap. We failed to close above it. I see. We got multiple gaps. It just make it look way more cluttered, but once you learn how to read the gaps, you can manage your way through and know which ones to delete. Actually, I could delete this bottom, but I'm gonna keep. Biggest thing for me, same thing like with SPY. Just wait on the first green daily candle. As long as we don't break 708.50, I'm okay with these longs. As long as I get a green daily candle. Or if we make some type of downtrend, then I probably have to wait. Okay. Other than that, I really don't know which gap is gonna bounce to go higher on QQQ just because there's so many different gaps. So I'm just gonna wait until like I see hourly uptrend, then try to take some longs. All right. Now going over into MNQ, which is the futures version of QQQ. Same thing like with QQQ. It got a whole bunch of daily gaps, but let's look at the weekly first. Look at that weekly. Give me 1 second, y'all. Give me 1 second. Yeah, looking at that weekly, pretty much, yeah, like I said, did the same thing with as QQQ did. Only thing QQQ did break the downtrend, I believe. Let me go back and check real quick. Or was that just spotted? No, QQQ broke the downtrend. So M&Q, on the other hand, did not break the downtrend. It's still technically in a downtrend until it breaks this high on the weekly at 30,600. So it still got a lot of space to run to the upside. But like QQQ, the weekly did close past the previous week's high. So they do show signs of continuation. So I'm at least looking for previous week high to get taken, which was 30,287. Once we get above there, as long as we got an uptrend above there, I'm aiming for these highs here at that 30,600 level. That's probably my main key level I'm looking for. We did leave a weekly gap behind, so it is a chance if we start making downtrend on the daily, maybe come bounce at that weekly gap. But I'm bullish. I'm bullish right now. Bullish. Going to the daily. Got high, low, higher high, pullback. We just got to see how far down this pullback want to go. The first green daily candle is pretty much the same as we've been saying with SPY and QQQ. First green daily candle I see, I'm looking for them longs. As long as we don't break this low over here at 29,241. Target is, of course, the previous highs we just had. And then next target would be that 600 level. 600 level. Alright. I mean, it's pretty self-explanatory. Going to NYM. NYM. Now, I already been looking at the NYM. I already been looking at it last week. NYM weekly. Overall, NYM weekly is bullish. I will say that it is bullish. We got high, low, higher, high, higher, low, higher, high, higher, low, higher, high. So it's bullish. Like the whole trend is set. But previous week, we closed red. So it's telling us we're doing some type of pullback. We just don't know how low the pullback gonna go. But we do know we're making some type of pullback. My biggest thing is I'm just thinking, I only think I'm aiming for if I'm gonna get into this NYM shorts, is to just literally just tap into this weekly gap at 53,712, which is last week's low. But that's about it. It's already down there. So if you want to take, you take your own trade. I'm not telling you what to take. But I'm just saying that's the target that I will be looking for. Only thing that's scary is once it tap it could very well just shoot right back up, turn extremely bullish to start aiming back from the highs. Going down to that daily, but the weekly, technically overall I'm bullish, but the previous count was red, so I'm gonna look for short for right now. Daily we got low. Well, actually, we got low, high, lower, low. So technically, it's in a downtrend. To me personally, I just don't like when it make a higher high and a lower low at the same time. But technically, it's in a downtrend. I guess I'll say, like I said, literally target is 53, 7, 12. It's already there, so I kind of don't really even want to mess with this chart at all. So, yeah. Other than that, let's go jump into the stocks. Let's see if some stocks that look interesting real quick before we hop off. So we pretty much done for tonight. Usually I don't trade stocks until like Wednesday, so we only just do like a quick glance of them on the Sunday analysis. So looking at Google, I don't like the weekly. So let's go to the next chart. Okay. Actually, let's go to the daily. Daily probably be where we really want to look at. Let's go back to Google. Daily on Google. Low, high, lower, low. Maybe if we get a green candle and another red, we can take some shorts to come back down to the lows. I mean, we could mark that out. That'll be target. That'll be level we don't want to be. Alright. CrowdStrike. It broke the uptrend. Broke the uptrend. But it may respect 201 level. Maybe. Oh, let me delete this from last week. Maybe you respect that 201 level. Maybe we getting another. Maybe we coming to get another bounce at 209 and try to see if we can push back long to go back and take them high. So I'm gonna set alert at 210. Maybe a long off 209. Maybe. But as of right now, it's nothing that I want off of that chart. See about Tesla. Tesla uptrend high, high low, higher high. Maybe it's the pullback. All we need is a green candle. Only thing I don't like, Tesla got this huge gap in the way, man. It took out all our other targets. We can delete them targets. But it's just a huge gap. I don't like this huge gap. But we get a green candle. Look to take longs back to that high at 351.26. If we can close past it, then maybe we come clear this gap. Maybe we come clear this gap. Tesla the closest to one that I might get in. No, I don't like Apple. Netflix, y'all already know how I feel about Netflix. I've been talking about this whole time. Long term on Netflix, we taking them all the way back to the moon. Taking it all the way back to the moon. AMD, I don't really mess with this chart. It's just AMD just been going all over the place, to be honest. I do not like that chart lately. Microsoft, I would say go long here on Microsoft. But that previous, it closed red there. So I'll say this on Microsoft, I'm watching because it might shoot up here. It could shoot up, it could try to drop and come down to that 485. I feel like I might actually get in this. If we can like come down to like 493, I'll get in. Cause my stop literally gonna be 491.52. Try to see if it want to push back up without breaking this low. Yeah, actually, if it just open up where it's at, I might just get along and just try to, take that chance, man. Sometimes you gotta take that chance because it might shoot back up. If not, it just don't. I'm gonna take a light contract. What is that target high? I might take 513 long for 2-3 days. I might do it for 3 days. Microsoft actually the only one right now that Microsoft and Tesla the main two I'll be looking at. Nvidia, we got high. I don't like that. I don't like the Nvidia. I think it might go up to that 232. I just don't like how it's moving though. It's just not moving the best. Meta, nope. Coin, nope. Oh, I skipped over SpaceX. SpaceX broke our level, y'all. We said 136 was the key level we was looking for. And it broke the 136, man. We broke the 136. I ended up cleaning the chart up after it broke 136, so I don't got that line there no more. But really, all I need for SpaceX is another green candle. Go back alone, take it back up to 149. So I like SpaceX. We'll put SpaceX back up. I like SpaceX. I don't think I'll just might start stalling around 150, 153. But I mean, from 140, it's a nice spot to take it long, especially if you can come back down to like 138. I'll take a loan back up to 149, $10 move. Yeah, I like SpaceX. All I need is just a green data account. All right, so other than that, I think that's it. Let's look at Walmart and then we're gonna hop off, man. Walmart. I ain't gonna lie, I was wanting Walmart to drop a little further, y'all. I was wanting to come like down close to $100, maybe $98. It could. It's still a chance, but it's starting to do a nice little recovery though. That's the thing I don't like. I was hoping to come down to like $100. Cause I wanted to grab this another long term stock that I was talking about. I said buying here, buying here at like 108 was good, but a little. I said a little greed. I was hoping to come down like another $6 more. I don't know if it's gonna keep coming down though. It started recovering pretty decent, but them earnings are just coming out, so maybe it'll come down to 105. I don't know. But I don't, the daily, I'm not messing with the daily, honestly. I mean, high, low, higher, high. It is an uptrend. Maybe if you get a green candle, come back and take the high at 116. But I'm looking at this more as long term. So I'm just trying to find where the best spots to keep adding. That's all. So I'm trying. Hopefully, it can come down to back down to like 105, one. Really, $100 is where I wanted to go to. But yeah, man, that's our weekly analysis, and we got it done in 30 minutes. So I'm going to go ahead and see y'all boys. Y'all have a good one. Y'all trade safe, man. Your boy